Yeah, upgrade to the Star Times Mega Bouquet for only 180 Ghana cedis.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Hello? Yeah, Kofi. Charlie, we spoke about going to Imperial for our motor insurance today.
Shit, are you the one to remind me? I am at Imperial already.
What?
I told you about their motor insurance promo, right?
Yeah.
This time it is reloaded, my brother.
Wow.
Imperial General is saying, come insure with them from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. 4 coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many, many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover, my brother. And now you can also get brand new tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just insure your car and you are done.
Hey, Charlie, I can even do it online and still get my reward.
Oh yes, don't slow. Talk to your broker, agent, or call us on 0577 667 436 for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. T&C Supply, Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
Bafu Bauxite. Good morning.
Where from Bauxite?
I don't know. I mean, these things come to me. I cannot be held
Bauxite.
responsible for,
Hey.
Yeah. that's just where the spirit led me this morning.
Well.
Just have to deal with it. How you do? It's nice to see you. How was the weekend?
Oh, I think the weekend was good. I mean, we entered into the weekend in a happy mood. The IMF passed us on our first review, so we are expecting some cash.
So we're happy about that.
What can we do? What can we do about it? And hopefully the Black Stars will make us smile tonight.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so let's see.
That would be nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Black Stars are all over my say it right today.
Charlie. Yeah.
They'd better do the do. And keep us in that tournament, because we need something to look forward to, Yeah. So, okay. 600 million,
600 million. I saw the look on your face when I said, well, it's some good news, because
look, our reality is that we are in an IMF program. That's our reality. And it's a pity that such amounts make such a massive difference to our entire economy and our whole balance sheet. It's a pity that we've come to the point where $600 million.
And the question is, for how long are we going to be going back and begging for money and not fixing our economy? I know you're going to play a documentary about General Echampong. You remember Operation Feed Yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of these things were designed to prevent us depending on institutions like the IMF.
But that failed. It didn't work during his time.
True.
True.
And if you want to know why, some clues are in today's documentary.
And there was a lot of mismanagement, corruption, and that was when we went for our second IMF program. Really, so.
Yeah, bro. We have come.
It keeps going on.
We have come far without going anywhere. It's sad.
Anyway.
Yeah, all right. So, catch that documentary. It was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, shall we get to it? First, gratitudinal.
Bauxite edition.
Gratitudinal Bauxite edition. We have thanks to give, and we give them to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. And our thanks go to them for the 6 a.m. news. Now, of course, Bafu Bauxite and the team bring you today's Joy Business Report.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, International Monetary Fund describes Ghana's economy as showing signs of recovery, adding the country's program performance is strong. Also, Ghana hoping to secure a 7-year moratorium on Eurobond interest payments as it moves to restructure the debt instruments. Meanwhile, rating agency Fitch pushes forward timeline for Ghana to emerge from default on its foreign currency debt to mid-year, following successful debt restructuring agreement with bilateral creditors. And interest rates take a nosedive for the third consecutive week as T-bills are oversubscribed by 72%. Details coming up. Great to be with you this morning. Hello to our friends listening on KTU Radio in Koforidua. My name is Darryl Kwao. The International Monetary Fund has described Ghana's economy as showing signs of recovery. This was after the country completed its first review under the fund program, resulting in some $600 million in disbursement. George Affe has more.
The IMF says reforms efforts are bearing fruit. Growth in 2023 has proven to be resilient. Inflation has declined, and the fiscal and external positions have improved. The IMF in their statement also said that Ghana's performance under the program has been very strong, meeting all the quantitative performance criteria, targets, and structural reforms. Stefan Rode is the mission chief for Ghana and has been speaking from Washington, D.C., USA.
Inflation is going down very rapidly. External and the fiscal position are turning around. The other part of the assessment is that economic activity is performing better than what we had in mind. And this is why we are revising our growth projections up in the context in this review.
The IMF was, however, quick to add that there is a need for government to press ahead with reforms aimed at improving tax administration, strengthening expenditure controls, and enhance fiscal rules to ensure lasting adjustment. Since Ghana signed the IMF program in May last year, it has now received $1.2 billion from the fund. If this assessment is anything to go by, then we should expect some interesting response from the country's donors and investors.
George, I feel with that report. Well, meanwhile, speaking at a joint press conference of the IMF, Finance Ministry and the Bank of Ghana, Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, reacted to concerns about further hikes in the policy rate to contain inflation.
At the last MPC press conference, we had said that the rate will be tighter for longer to ensure that, inflation expectations are anchored towards a single-digit objective. But that doesn't mean that between getting to the single digits, you would not see, a downward trend in the policy rate.
That was Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. In a related development, Ghana is hoping to secure a 7-year moratorium on Eurobond interest payments as it moves to restructure the debt instruments. It is also pushing for up to 40% interest rate cut. Government will open negotiations with Eurobond holders later today in London to negotiate the restructuring of the papers. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, hopes these commercial creditors will accept the government's offer.
I'm expecting that we will all negotiate in good faith. I'm looking at the country coming back quicker than later. We have had discussions with Eurobond investors, some of the larger creditors, and there's goodwill. I had a very optimistic view to conclude all of these negotiations by end of 2023, which did not happen. So when I look at current situation between concluding the MOU, OCC, and then the process with the Eurobond, yes, I give myself latest end of March a goal that we should shoot for to put an end to all of the restructuring.
You had the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. And our rating agency Fitch has pushed for the timeline for Ghana to emerge from default on its foreign currency debt to mid-year instead of the end of the year. This follows a successful debt restructuring agreement with bilateral creditors last Friday. In its latest rating outlook for sovereigns and banks in Africa, the UK-based firm said the country's domestic debt exchange program was successfully done, clearing most default risks. Toby Illes is head of Middle East and Africa Sovereign Ratings.
Regarding Ghana, Ghana requested a common framework treatment a little more than a year ago, December 2022. They have reached an agreement with the Official Credit Committee last Friday. So the next steps are this agreement needs to be translated into an MOU, and then they need to seek an agreement with private creditors on comparable terms. Given that discussions with private creditors have been handled in parallel with the discussions with official creditors, we also assume that Ghana potentially would move out of default on the foreign.
Head of Middle East and Africa Sovereign Ratings at Fitch, Toby Ill, is there. Interest rates took a nosedive for the third consecutive week running the day. The day the International Monetary Fund approved the first review of Ghana's program. According to auction results by the Bank of Ghana, demand for the Treasury bills continued to surge. Here's more in this report.
Investor confidence is soaring following the expected release of the $600 million bailout package to Ghana this week by the IMF. According to the auction results, the yield on the 91-day T-bill went down by 15 basis points to 28.88%. That of the 182-day bill also fell to 31.39% from the previous 31.51%. The rate on the 364-day bill also eased by 9 basis points to 31.99%. Meanwhile, the T-bills auction was oversubscribed by 72.3% to 5.270 billion cedis. About 2.632 billion cedis of the bids were tendered for the 91-day bill. All of the bids were accepted accordingly. For the 182-day T-bills, 1.324 billion cedis of the bids were tendered. The uptake was 1.324 billion cedis. The 364-day bill also received bids worth 1.312 billion cedis. All the bids were accepted.
That was a business desk report. Moving on, economist Professor Lord Mensah has cautioned the government against the increase in taxes, warning it could impact inflation. Inflation for December 2023 fell sharply to 23.2%, the lowest in the last 16 months. Our government expects to end 2024 with a rate of 15%. Professor Mensah warns the gains from inflation could be eroded by the tax increases.
If they do not do their calculations very well, and those who are supposed to bear the brunt, will be consumers, and in the end, prices will tend to go up again. And so all the gains that we've made as a result of inflation coming down will definitely be neutralized. So the taxes obviously will turn up to have effect on prices, but then we hope that the percentages that has been increased will not have much effect. Whatever the case may be, the pass-through effect of taxes is increase in prices, which will build up into inflation.
You had Professor Lord Mensah, an economist there. Now, tax analyst Francis Timobo is hopeful the consumption taxes implemented from the 1st of January this year may achieve their target. This follows concerns by businesses that the number of taxes announced by government could stifle growth of private sector businesses. Even though Mr. Boy is of the view that the implementation could have started in February, he's hopeful that VAT components will achieve their targets.
Listen, the taxes, as we are seeing them, they are mostly in the form of indirect taxes, and it is consumers who bear it. So it's you and I. They'll pass it on to us. So being indirect tax, I see that the avoidance is quite difficult unless you don't consume. Take, for example, the emission tax. Unless you don't have a car. If you have a car and you are driving, there's nothing you can do. So on that length, we can say that it's likely that we may achieve the revenue target.
Tax analyst Francis Timobo there. Now, Trade and Industry Minister K.T. Amon has warned foreign cement manufacturers to desist from producing substandard products for the construction sector here in Ghana. He's been talking about the rate at which such activities are affecting the industry. Speaking at a finance ministry engagement with the Chinese business community on mutual prosperity partnership, Mr. Amon urged the manufacturers to comply with the standard rules in Ghana.
I'm happy, Excellency, Ambassador, you are here. Once I'm at this point, I intend to make this point rather forcefully. It's unpleasant, it's unpalatable, but I intend to make it all the same. I implore you, I think they must try as much as possible to comply with the standards of the country.
Trade Minister Katie Hammond. Now, officials of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority are poised to strengthen their relationship with border communities as a catalyst to improve trade facilitation and also strengthen security. The move has become necessary as most of these communities are being identified as partners in the quest by government to increase trade with neighboring countries. Assistant Commissioner at the Headquarters Sector Command, Eric Kwekuboni, disclosed this to Joy Business after embarking on a health walk to kickstart this year's International Customs Celebration Week, which begins today.
One thing we must not also forget is building relationship and fostering a relationship with border communities. Previously, we saw the border communities as smugglers, but now they are our partners